Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome everyone. I've got some really exciting news to share with everyone today. This week, coming up on the 20th of October, I am a collaborative author with 22 powerful women writing stories about loss, heartbreak, and coming home. It's the long journey back to yourself. I'm so proud to say that this book is being published and loaded up on Amazon, or you can buy copies from me direct. I have been part of this collaboration for a few months, working together, bringing about this story and sharing my story itself. My chapter is called Despair, and it's about coming back from the loss of my business, losing everything. I was homeless. I had no business, no car, no house, no home, no nothing, no support, no one. And it was a very dark, dark time for me. But in reviewing that journey and really discovering how far I've come, this week has been totally phenomenal. There is no other word for it. It's beyond amazing as to how many great things have happened. Not only is this book getting launched, but this podcast is the 57th episode. So we're a year old. And I'm going to review all of the podcast in the next episode of all the different episodes, the guests, and do a run through to let you catch up on all the details of it. But I never really thought I'd get here. This time, last October, last year, I was doing my master practitioner course in NLP. And as part of that course, my spirit guides kept telling me the next phase is to do the podcast, do the podcast, do the podcast. I'm like, yeah, but I don't even know what to talk about. I don't even know how to do this. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to create. I don't know how to really talk and to converse with you all and bring these stories to fruition. But I got a nudge and was told to start it. And so I did. I recorded the first episode and set up the intro and the outro, brought it all together, bought some programs to help me upload it, set it off on a wing of prayer, and just prayed to God and said, let's make this happen. And every week we will launch a new episode every Wednesday. And so far, touch wood, pray to God, we have done that every week without fail. There have been hurdles in it because I get issues with programming and Zoom doesn't like to work sometimes. The recording falters, problems happen, but it always gets out there and I have so much fun doing it. I love it. I love thinking up new topics, hearing from readers and sharing aspects of self. And that's why this book, as a culmination of part of this journey, is another factor of something that I've had on my wish list in life, right? I have a vision board and I've always wanted to be an author. And specifically my first author thought, I've created oracle cards and affirmation cards and 2 journals, but I wanted to be in a book, and I did want it to be a collaborative book of women coming together with the same vibration, sharing a unique big story. I never really wanted it to be fully about myself or delve into everything, although I do know that sort of book is coming, or even a book about developing your intuition further down the track. But this opportunity arose within me. And as I look back over these past 12 months, this has been a 9-year, and 9 years generally for me are literally hell on earth. This has been one of the best ever. Like, so many wonderful things, so many manifestations, so many achievements, so many goals reached, so many beautiful people I've connected with, heard from, have responded, and I literally love my life. There is nothing about what's going on in my life right now that I don't love. I work on myself constantly. I'm healing all the time. I'm growing and evolving and learning, and I live in bliss. I have created a world that is mine, that is my version of near perfect. Okay, yes. Do I want extra things? Do I want more in my life? Of course I do. That's what manifesting's about. That's what living's about. Because if we don't dream and have desires, we will literally start to die in self. But one of my big dreams and desires has to become an author. And this story is personal. It's about my heartbreak, my journey. And all of that did start back in a 9-year, because it all started going downhill, even though I didn't lose my business till the end of 2017. But the cracks started to appear in 2016 because I didn't fix things. And that next year, so the 2017 was the 1 year where I didn't fix all the problems that I had in the 9-year, they carried over. And these past 9 years has been healing that, repairing that, healing myself, growing into who I am, discovering my true identity, becoming the coach that I always envisioned, being who I like, being me, loving me, learning about me, discovering aspects of self that are far beyond than I ever really dreamed of before. Each new goal, each new step is phenomenal to me. The growth, the connection to my intuition, the connection to the world around me, and the things that I literally say, I want this, and they do appear. I have learned patience so much, and even more so in the past few months, where they have tested me with things that I would normally be highly triggered by or have problems with, get frustrated or procrastinate or do all the bad habits, and I'm no longer falling back into those patterns. I've literally leveled up, and at the moment I am clearing some last remnants of things, and I've been told it's one of the breakthrough aspects before I break through to that next phase. This book is part of the next phase. I'm stepping into my future self. I'm stepping into the version of me that I want to be, the coach, the leader, the visionary that I have in my own mind. And throughout this journey, as I have looked back on it and worked through the chapter and written the chapter, over the last few months, I've known about it for a few months, and I went to write it a couple of times and it just wouldn't flow. And yet when I said to Spirit, this is when we need to do it, it came, and I literally wrote it very, very quickly for me. It just flowed. It come out in this way that was totally healing, totally understanding. And the freedom that I have of cutting all the ties to it, of knowing that that part of self is healed, the trauma is gone, the pain is gone. I can talk about the memories of it and look back on it as this massive indication of something that changed me for the better. Because who I am today, I love her unconditionally. I am so happy in myself. I don't need anybody else to fulfill me, to make me better. I have beautiful friends and family that I'm surrounded with. I have supporters. I have an audience who loves what I do and what I put out, and I show up as me. And over the last 9 years, I have discovered depths of myself that I never knew before. And I've scaled heights I never ever thought I would achieve. And the pride and honor and just the bliss that I hold in my heart for the effort is phenomenal. It's hard work doing this work, letting go of trauma, moving away from hardship, of releasing things that happen to you, of taking responsibility for your own actions and the creation of the world that you're in, of accepting that you made mistakes and those mistakes are not failures, they are just pivots and diversions to where you're actually meant to be. I thought I was doing the right thing with my business. It was something I was very passionate about. I loved it, but I actually wasn't showing up anywhere near my full potential. I'm still not quite there, but I'm well on the way to it, and I'm much further ahead of it than I ever could have been before. But as I sit back and review about the chapter of what I went through, and especially this week with everybody in the world practically talking about it, but the Life of the Showgirl album by Taylor Swift, music is something that has always triggered massive healing in me. It has been having impact on my own healing journey and awakening journey, and a way for my guides and spirit to communicate with me and even just open me up to so much more beyond what's happening. And this current album touched so many deep chords in me that I cry, I laugh, I just feel, and the feelings that you get from it are beautiful. They're cataclysmic. They really change the way that you see the world. And it made me remember back to during that time when I was at my lowest. When I lost my business and I was homeless, I sat outside of the mental hospital for 3.5 hours crying because I literally wanted to go and murder someone. And I laugh about it now, but I was in turmoil. I wanted to hurt myself, hurt other people, or do something so outside of my normal character that I had this infernal fight between good and evil, right and wrong, to kill or not to kill. And I hated myself for it. And I sat there sobbing for hours, not 5 minutes, for 3.5 hours, debating to go inside and ask for help or to go and commit something that would have literally sent me to jail. And I'm sure many of people have been in a situation like it, and it breaks your heart because I didn't want that hate in my heart. I didn't want to seek revenge. I didn't want to harm people, but I was bombarded by energy and information and things being said and done to me and things said about me. And in this world of pain, and anytime I really tried to talk about it, it seriously felt like there was no one there to listen. They didn't understand, and I couldn't even articulate what was really going on. But at the core of it, I was being bullied, and I just did not have the energy, the wherewithal to fight anymore. And to add insult to injury on it, I was in the depth of deep grief. Because the day I lost my business, I was at a funeral burying my aunt and supporting my godmother and helping her through it and fearing that she would be next. So I was living in energy and frequency that was so abnormal to my normal that I was so incongruent in self. I was all over the place because I had this deep fear that something would happen to her and I wasn't ready to let her go. I had to let something else go instead. That loss had to come so that I could relinquish control and surrender to the bigger divine plan of God and the universe. And in surrendering that aspect to God and praying and begging for assistance, I went and admitted myself into the mental hospital. Honestly, here in Australia, I pity anyone that has to go through it. The services were not great. But at the same time, that time out just gave me enough control of self to start to figure out exactly who I am and what I wanted. And it did open up a gateway for me to connect again with my spirit guides, the universe, and God itself. Because I was raging against the world. I was blaming everyone, myself included, for what happened to me. And I was at that stage that life happened to me, that I didn't create it, that I was just in a victim mentality, and I hated myself for it because I never wanted to be a victim. And let me tell you, I've been a victim so many times that I just don't own it. Yes, stuff happened to me, but I got through it, I survived it, and I identify as the survivor. I will get through anything. But in this low point of my life, I struggled immensely. The one thing that did get me through on so many different levels was music. And that's why this culmination of Taylor's music this week has brought me full circle to how I managed to get through. Now, a couple of the songs that helped me really reconnect to myself in that dark time was Cher's song, You Haven't Seen the Last of Me, that was from the movie Burlesque. The movie had been out for a while and I hadn't seen it and I hadn't heard the song either, but I was somewhere quiet and I was watching it and it was like this massive gut punch and it was my soul crying out that no, the world hadn't seen the last of me. There was more that I had to offer. There was much more than where I was right then, and I would come back from this. But I can tell you I was tired. I was exhausted and I didn't have the energy to even think about planning for anything. I had no fight left in me. But that song would not give up on me. And from that moment, I literally started to hear it everywhere. You know what it's like when something's important to you and you would never have heard it before, never seen it, and then sign after sign, synchronicity after synchronicity, it just happened again and again and again. And it led me to a pathway of healing. And I remember walking around the street one day just listening to it, which I must have put it on my phone, and just saying to God, like, if you think the world hasn't seen the last of me, then you need to find me help and I need assistance. So find me a way that I can find space to heal. And blissfully and honestly, it was a miracle answer to a prayer. A friend of mine rang me and offered me to go and stay at her place. I stayed there for about a month or so. It didn't fully work out, but it still gave me a place to heal, and it opened up a channel for more information and direction from Spirit. And Archangel Michael found his way through to me again, because I used to tell him to go fuck off, to get away from me. I was done. I did not want to know a bar of him. And he is my biggest guide. He is one of the guys that I work with so intimately that I just didn't want to hear from him. But he found a way through. And that started the deeper healing. And then I moved on to another place where I had 3 months of more healing. And it's when I was getting so much stronger, I was aware of who I was, and I had big visions and ideas again, and I had plans, and I started believing I could do things, and my self-belief started increasing and impacting, and I was working with people again, doing what I love and showing up as who I am, that I was diverted to move back home. And this is where it led me today. Not just cutting out some of the corners, but that song changed me. And in it, as I healed so many different things, this is where another of Taylor's songs helped me so much. And I find it hilarious because when she sings "We Are Never, Ever, Ever Getting Back Together," she's singing about a relationship breakup with a person. I used to sing it about a relationship breakup with my trauma, with my depression, with my anxiety, with all the pain that I had, the suffering. We were never getting back together. And thank God, touch wood, every aspect of it, I've not gone through it, anything like it since. And I don't plan to. That song would raise my vibration. And I would tell my anxiety and my depression and the shitty thoughts and the itty bitty shitty committee in my head, we're never getting back together. I am strong. I am beautiful. I had amazing affirmations. I am my own rescue. I am the one that's going to save me. I am the creator of my universe. And that song led the way. So music touches our soul. It talks to us in ways that we can and are able to listen. And I believe that all of the music in the world is beautifully channeled from God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, through their guides. And it is blessed to the world from certain people. And I value each and every musician, writer, author, creator out there, because there's always books and music and movies and TV shows that change and alter people. And many of them, quite frankly, saved people's lives. And I know that they did for mine. But along the way, there are so many other songs that I want to share with you of how they altered my healing journey and my growth in self. It was around the same time of that great loss that I finally watched The Greatest Showman. And it wasn't in the first moment when it was out in theaters. It was months later, and my friend had it on, pretty sure she actually had a DVD copy back then, rather than Netflix and stuff like that. And we watched it. And This Is Me by Keala Settle really hit home. My heart cried and my soul cried out of being seen. This is my identity, my connection to God, to spirit, to my intuition, to my belief that I'm here to change the world one person at a time by sharing the information I got and passing on that healing energy and activating people. This is me. This is who I am. And I went through months of denying my existence, and it hurt. You can't deny who you are. Who you are is core. It is ingrained in your soul. What you're meant to be will always come looking for you. This is one of my big messages that I share with the world. You have a purpose, you have a mission, and it will do everything it can in order to get your attention to share that with the world, big or small. But your purpose will find a way to come through and to show up in the way that your soul needs. And every soul is different. Every vision is different. Every purpose is different. Every mission is different. It's up to you to understand what it is. And my purpose and mission is all around intuitively activating other people, helping them heal, to let go of their trauma, release their past, to manifest and create their future. I know it deep inside of me. It's so deep. It is a core belief that never ever goes away. Do I falter? Of course I do. I'm not perfect. I failed at it so many times it's not funny, but I can't resist it. I can't hide from it. And this is me. This is who I show up as. This is what I want to do. And this is my way forward. So that song opened me up to do deeper healing. And in it, I had to come to align with the shadow self. And that led me to one of my favorite songs by Kelly Clarkson called The Dark Side. And it's talking about having someone love the dark side of you. Whereas I always interpret it as loving yourself with the dark side within, with all the darkness, the heavy thoughts, the aspects of self that can want to do bad things or seeks revenge or whatever it may be, but not actually taking it. The darkness does live within us. We are light and dark equally, and it has to coexist. And loving the shadow aspects of self, the parts of self that we try to deny, allowing them to find alignment and peace within, shapes us and makes us so much better in this world. And that song was all about self-love, self-acceptance, and peace. And I love it. And I sing it loud and proud every time it's on. And trust me, no, you don't want to hear me singing. I'm not great at it, but I love doing it. That really moved aspects for me, because when I come back from my journey, one of the first things that I was teaching people was how to heal and clear the past, let go of the trauma. We did Ho'oponopono practices and alignment with the shadow self. Shutting up what I call the itty bitty shitty committee, getting the negative Nelly out of our heads, stopping all the beat down, the put downs, the low self-esteem, the self-depreciation, saying the negative and bad things, the acceptance of untruths. And that was a deep mission that I had to go through. And that healing took many years. And it is a process. It's not something that you just go, oh, let's just align with that shadow and it's nice and easy and it's quick and it's all done. It takes time. But do you know a lot of our shadow aspects of self are actually great drivers? They're great motivators and push us forward, and they help us in our journey in life. A lot of people look at it as running away from things, but it's just using that to drive you forward to a better destination. It's always in your choice how you allow your pain, your emotions, and your trauma to shape you. Too many people allow it to bring them down, to get into that depressive state, to suffer with anxiety because they bottle their emotions. They won't look at them. They won't let them out and set them free. But when you do, and you know that you are not a bad person because certain aspects happened to you and you went through this and you thought that at one stage, the fact that you didn't act on those thoughts is actually the light being more powerful within you than the darkness. Yes, many people succumb to the darkness, and it is an infernal fight that never really stops happening. But it's how you make choices in each and everyday life and how you choose to move forward on what side of the fence you decide to sit. So those songs help me let go of limiting beliefs, old patterns, old emotions, old traumas, old stories. and the victim mentality and the thought that the world happens to me, that I wasn't the creator. It helped me come to terms with the powerful aspect of creation, because the overcoming of that and the strength that you had in order to survive and get through all of that becomes the strength, the motivator, and the character that you have in order to thrive moving forward. This album from Taylor, the two songs that hit me the most, and the whole album literally moved me on multi levels, but the two songs that hit me the most out of this were Opalite, because I'm a crystal person. Crystals was how I started my business the first time, and crystals got me into all my healing. And the line of it about the sleepless nights from the onyx night. So having the sleepless nights through the onyx energy, so the dark energy, and coming out to be your own sunshine. Again, if someone could write exactly what it was like coming from despair, the sleepless nights, the insomnia, the depression, the darkness, to coming out to find that sunshine, to find the light again, to bring about that opalite sky. It was like she was writing me a personal letter. And yes, once again, it's written about Travis, and it's about her relationship and the way that people perceive her in the world. But we all can take little elements of that. And that aspect of that song just brightens me up to show me of the review from my chapter of my book of coming back from that despair to this sunshiny existence, this beauty, this phenomenal vibration. And opalite as a crystal has a really lovely vibe. Yes, it's man-made opal, but it has so much essence to it. And the other one is wish list. Now, wish list to me is all about manifestation. And I love how she talks about the different types of energy that you manifest, right? On my manifestation wish list, I wanted to be an author. I manifested a new car this year as well. It's not something I overly shared to people, but a lot of hard work into manifesting my ute, and I'm beyond proud of the effort that I put in to achieve it. I also manifested my podcast growing to what it is, beautiful clients, special events, travel. I'm going on a cruise in a couple of weeks with some friends. All of these aspects of self were all on my wish list and my vision board. And the way she just talks about it, you might have a wish list of being on Real Madrid. And if you do, guaranteed there's a really good chance you will achieve it. Sorry, not a sports person. Have never had any wish ever to be a famous sports person. But kudos to all of those that do, because I see them achieve it, and knowing that's on their vision board and that's what they want, they will have it. And to see the simple things that a lot of people take for granted are on her wish list, of having a husband and a couple of kids that look like him and having a basketball hoop in the driveway, just brings love, joy, happiness, and serenity to my heart, because you can feel that bond, that connection, that power, that strength. And it also reminded me, for this round of Shine with Shaz, I have songs for each and every week's program. So there's 13 weeks throughout the program, and each lesson has a different song. And one of them was a new song when we got up to healing, and it was Stronger Than Before by Lady Gaga. This song is about healing. It is about spiritual healing and letting go of trauma, letting go of past, and how much stronger you are now than before. You're not the same person you were before. And I'm certainly not that broken down, poor me, victim, haunted woman that I was back in 2016, 2017. I was lost. I had no essence, no real vision forward. I had vague ideas, but they were unclear. I knew I wanted to help people and awaken them to spirituality and have truth come out and have this great connection to the universe and the capability of the human soul, of why we incarnate on the planet and how we create the world for us. And we're here for lessons and we're here to overcome things so we don't have to repeat them. But back then I was doomed in a cycle of repetition and I hated it. And that repetition always revolved around pain, loss, hurt, trauma, grief. Those losses were devastating to me, especially because the 9 years before that, back in 2007, was when I lost my nan and when I miscarried my twins. So I look back on my life on every 9 years and I just have seen devastation after devastation after devastation. But this year, I chose no way was that cycle repeating. I was doing the healing work, clearing the crap, letting go of everything in my way. And all I was doing was focusing on manifesting and creating and building the foundation for the 1 year that we're moving into energetically, so that 2026 and the next 9 years to come, I have nothing but success, love, happiness, and joy. And I live my life my way. Why? Because I'm certainly stronger than I was before. This is me. This is exactly who I am. This is the life I chose. This is the manifestation of everything in my life. This is my wish list. And I choose it each and every day. And I love the effort I put in. So this book that I'm creating and the sales that we get from it, I don't really even have massive sales goals for it because it's not part of the process. The process for me was putting the book out there and sharing a part of myself that I don't overly publicly expose. Because underlying all that pain, all that essence, back when that all fell apart, was humiliation and shame. And those emotions hurt. They cause massive problems in ourselves. But doing the work and clearing them and understanding that that was something I had to go through to gain this confidence, this power, this essence, this beauty within, this undeniable goal of helping people, coaching people, helping others heal, letting their shit go so they too can manifest a world that is theirs, that they want, because we all can and we all deserve it. But first you have to stand up and discover who you are. Let go of what brought you here, because that was the only pathway that you could make to get here. I would not be who I am today without those trials and tribulation. I would not be who I am today without going through my childhood trauma and all the loss and grief that I've suffered. But I'm grateful for it, because where I am is magical. I love it all. I love doing this. I love this life I've built. I love everything about myself. Even the parts I want to change. And trust me, there are aspects of my body I want to change, layers of healing that I'm still doing, the challenges that come up. I love knowing that they're there, because that means I'm growing and evolving and becoming even more. I have great visions of manifestation. I have great desires, and I really look forward to January when I create my new vision board, because over the last 3 years, I've only ever taken off minor things, but this year I've manifested so many big things. I have to find new big things to aim for. And part of it is showing up as exactly who I am. So thank you for being part of my audience, listening to me, following me, and giving me feedback all along this way. Just know that this journey was never about me. It was always to share information to help other people. And I'm so grateful that so many people have downloaded the podcast. We reached 100,000 views within a year. I can't explain how much that blows my mind. Blows my mind, totally. But I'm so grateful for each chance that I get to share my story, my wisdom, my knowledge with those in order to hope that it helps you let go of what was. Know who you are, discover your identity, and show up exactly as you're meant to be. Become the creator of the life that you desire. If you've ever felt lost or broken or stuck and you don't know where to turn, please reach out. Come talk to me. I have 30-minute free sessions to help you understand where you're at, and I have plenty of free resources that can help you. Or come on a healing and coaching journey with me, because I trust you in 3 or 6 months, depending on how fast you want to do it, you'll be a brand new person. What you'll gain from it is indescribable. Standing in that power, discovering your magnificence, and owning the fuck out of who you are. It's just the best thing you could ever do for self. So I ask you, who are you? I know who I am, and I love her. Please love yourself. You deserve it. You are worthy of everything you could ever think of. And it's right there if you just open your arms and put it on your wish list. Thank you for your support. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.